Matt Welsh's best bet for the meeting comes up in this seventh race, the SCT Torquay Cup over 1,400 metres at benchmark 64 level. Our $2.45 favourite is Netanyahu ahead of Sly Corner at 480. 650 about Let Fly, and then 10 into 750 for Night Eclipse. High Class Harry at 13.17 for Fast Melody. 20 Hilano Dangers is at $21.
This mounting yard brought to you by the 2022 Magic Millions National Sale. Catalogue online now at magicmillions.com.au.
Into the yard we go for race 7. We'll start with horse 7. This is Night Eclipse. Thought he ran well first up at Ballarat, Matt, and anticipated a fair bit of improvement from that outing too.
I thought it was a good performance, Ed. At 1,200 metres there. I think he is better suited up to 1,400 metres today. He maps really nicely from gate 1. I think Billy Egan can probably trail the leader, which I suspect will be High Class Harry. So a couple of ticks there. He's a horse that they kicked off in town in a 2-year-old handicap back a year or so ago, or basically a year ago, in fact. Didn't fire a shot there. Took a couple of runs last preparation, but his Warrnambool maiden win before going to a break was a sign of real talent. And he's come back in good order for Matty Raymond, so he's the main danger for mine to the favourite.
That is Night Eclipse, who's had a bit of support in the market as well too. Where do we go to next as we go through them runner by runner? We go to the favourite. This is the 10 Netanyahu, your best for the meeting.
Well, he was flying prior to last time out. He went to the bull. I don't think he handled the heavy track. There were a few horses there in that last race, which was, the last of 28 or so races, or 30 races?
30 races. I think it was 10, 10,
on the
10,
card. There was. What a marathon. Did you get down there?
I did, first day. Great day.
Outstanding. It was a marathon card, and I think the track was just so chopped up by then. A lot of horses didn't handle that race. He was flying prior to that. His run behind Jaffa Stock at Sandown in 70 grade the start prior. Very much good enough to win a race like this. Gate 3 gets a lovely run. Johnny Allen looking for another winner on the card. I think he's the horse to beat.
Did you get down, or were you enjoying it from the couch?
No, I wasn't. I was stuck in Queensland for a couple of days and then couldn't get down for the last day, disappointingly.
Okay. There's worse places to be stuck. The 11 is Dangerous, third up here.
We've really digressed, haven't we?
It's that point of the afternoon where these things tend to happen.
Another one who came through that Warrnambool race behind Launchpad. So actually beat Netanyahu home on that occasion. He's fitter now, third up. He won his maiden at 1,400 metres. So a couple of positives there. We've already seen Stallion Astern with a winner on the card. Looking for a double here. That is Dangerous from the Shea Eden yard. We'll go to the 12. You can pick him. His name suits him too. Silver Boots. Well, I thought he's just been fair in 2 runs to date. Both of them here at Geelong this campaign. And he did win third up last campaign at Chuka, breaking his maiden. It's a pretty strong win. He was quite dominant on that occasion. So maybe third up now, stripping fitter, getting a pretty soft run from gate 2. A couple of reasons that he might be able to improve, but I think 20 to 1's a fair assessment of his chances. And Daniel Moore's looking for a double, teaming up with the Bussard and Young stable here on Sly Corner, who's been thereabouts of late. And he's been well back today as well. He's another who's going to get a good run, so I think the few key chances in the race are just going to lob right in behind what looks to be a genuine enough tempo. His one recent win was at Bendigo going back 5 starts ago. He bolted in, but he did get into a very weak race. He's since been up against stronger opposition, and I think he's just been fair. But with the benefit of a really nice run in the race, he'll certainly be somewhere there and thereabouts in the finish. 14, Let Fly, coming back in trip after finishing 4th over the mile at Pakenham last time. She had a really good run when she was able to win her maiden 2 starts back at Pakenham, and the form out of that race has been moderate, to say the least. She was okay last time out behind British Columbia in what was a pretty hot Class 1, I must concede, but I thought she was just okay. She's going to get back, I think, from gate 8 with a bit of speed drawn underneath, or get back to a midfield sort of position, but strong enough tempo for her to run into it over the concluding stages. Can Fast Melody improve onto a dry track today? Certainly can. I think that drier ground is a positive, which is unusual for the Seabrings. Generally, they don't mind the cut out of the ground, but he was okay first up. He beat home Netanyahu, who I'm tipping on top at Warrnambool. Here on his home track, he likes the 1,400 metres, so I certainly think he can improve. We're going to go back now to horse number 2, High Class Harry. And the intention is to ride Harry more forward today. Well, there was really that aberration a couple of starts back where he settled off speed at terrain, but generally being up on speed has been his lot in life. He's gone off the ball this campaign. He hasn't come back in career best order, that's for sure. If he could recapture his form at the back end of last campaign, where he was a 78 winner at Bendigo and then went on to run in the Melbourne Cup Country Champion final on Oaks Day, if he could recapture that form, he'd just win a race like this.
Does Helano have to lead? Because that was the vibe I got from the horse, the way that he carried on after he missed the kick last time out.
He got caught deep, didn't he, last time out? He pulled a bit in the run and just didn't finish off his work. He was able to control, beautifully rated 2 starts back by Lockie Overall, who takes the ride today at Werribee. I don't think he's going to get a similar sort of time in front. He was a loose leader there, and they just weren't going that hard. So he was beautifully rated. Challenge will be to do that today up in grade in a race there looks good tempo.
Mr. Dynamix's horse 4, second up.
Has a very good second up record, and yet another one who comes through that race that Netanyahu does at Warrnambool last time out. He was just fair there, but as I said, a few of them didn't handle the ground. He's an out-and-out 1,400-metre horse, having won 4 of his 8. He's a good winner here on a couple of occasions at Geelong. So a few things to like about him, and I think he'll get back again today. But as I've said a couple of times, there does look good speed in the race.
Azustik's got a really good record at Geelong too. 2 wins from 3 starts. That was at the back end of last campaign. He's first up this afternoon.
He does like the track. I think 1,400 in this class of race, he might just find the tempo a little bit much for him early. He's a horse who also likes to put himself up on speed, but he's going to have a few friends up there. That said, he has jumped out very well, and the stable got him going terrifically well at the back end of last campaign. So mount a case that he's slightly over the odds at 20-1. Just the map worries me a little bit.
What have you gone with here, Matt? Outside of your best bet, Netanyahu, how did you fill out the top 4?
I think Night Eclipse is a real live danger and probably a touch over the odds at 9.50. I think Azustik's, I made a case that he probably needs a little bit further, but I think he'll run well at $20, and then Sly Corner in for 4th. So 10, 7, 5 and 13, but primarily 10 and 7. And at the prices they are now, I could sort of have a decent crack at Netanyahu and just have Night Eclipse running for a profit.
Trav's got Night Eclipse on top as we go to the market. 7, 10, 13, 2 are his numbers. Netanyahu, $2.50 favourite. Had a Sly Corner at $6 and $9 for Let Fly. Backed at $10 as well for Night Eclipse. And then High Class Harry, Fast Melody both at $11. On their way to the gates, benchmark 64 over 1,400 metres. As they head over to the start, there is Netanyahu on screen, trained by Troy Corsons, and Troy will be hoping it's a big 24 hours or so to come, Bella.
Certainly will. Troy saddled up both Netanyahu and Silver Boots here. Firstly, we'll start with Netanyahu. What happened last start at Warrnambool?
He just didn't like the track at all, Bella. I think final day, last race of the day. And I know he's handled it over in New Zealand, so we had to give him a crack on it. It was hard to tell the owners that we're going to scratch when he'd already won on a heavy over there. But he just didn't handle it at all. So back on top of the ground here, I think he's going to run a much better race.
And how did he come through that run?
Surprisingly well. He had a little bit of a blow after the race, but he recovered really quickly. So it gave us the confidence to come here, and I think he can really bounce back.
And what's the reason behind the tongue tie going on for the first time?
Yeah, we just sort of questioned whether he might have got his tongue over the bit as well at Warrnambool. So in my opinion, tongue ties should probably be compulsory on everything.
He's had high expectations since coming across the ditch. Has he just taken a little bit of time to work out?
You know what? He's a really. I know he's a bit older, but he's quite immature and he still does a lot wrong. So you'll see that first preparation he did quite a few things wrong, but his form was still very good. We're still learning about him. He's learning about us, but he's putting it all together. And there's no doubt in my mind that he's city class.
And what were your thoughts on Silver Boots' first few runs this prep?
See, he's been a little bit up and down. He sort of needs to find. He's coming off an injury and now a long time off, so it might take a little bit of time to come to hand. So he might just take this as well today, and then maybe look for him in something just a touch weaker next start.
The stablemates have drawn beside each other. Where would you ideally like to see them settle?
Well, Netanyahu, he'll just put himself there anyway, because that's what he does. And then Silver Boots, probably just get back a little bit, but we'll see. Leave it up to Liam. If he jumps well, we can sort of hold that position as well.
Big weekend ahead for the stable. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to it, actually. You train horses so you can have runners in these big races. So looking forward to heading over to Adelaide tomorrow, and hopefully the astrologist can pop off a Group 1.
Are Are you confident with his chances?
Oh, look, it's hard to be confident in a Group 1. You're sort of, we're going in there a $12 shot, and I think, that's probably right. Maybe a touch shorter than that, but he tries very hard wherever he goes, and, he'll put his hand up at some stage.
Well, hopefully this is the start of a big weekend for the stable. Good luck.
Thanks, Bella.
Thanks to Troy Corstens there, who has very exciting times ahead as we head up to Trav for the call of the 7th.
Thanks, Bella. Netanyahu out to $2.60 here on the Victorian official price for the Torquay Cup. Great part of the world, Torquay. If you haven't been there, it's certainly worth a visit during the warmer months. Fast Melody coming in, and Mr. Dynamics will be the last for the penultimate race here from Geelong. The SCT Torquay Cup favourite Netanyahu. Starter lets them go. Silver Boots and Let Fly a little bit slow out. Mr. Dynamics away fast with High Class Harry. And also coming across is a Zoo Stick and then Sly Corner. Night Eclipse. Netanyahu gets forward of midfield from Halano Dangers. And then followed by Silver Boots, Fast Melody and Let Fly as last of all. So it's a Zoo Stick. Had to work hard at the 1,000 with High Class Harry. They're the two. From in third spot, Night Eclipse, and then followed by Sly Corner. Netanyahu on the inside of Halano in the middle, and out deeper on the course then is Mr. Dynamics. Further back, Let Fly from Dangers. Silver Boots is second to last, and last of all, Fast Melody. Coming down the side, about 600 to run. High Class Harry in front from a Zoo Stick. Halano gets to third. Night Eclipse awaits a run in fourth from Sly Corner. Then Mr. Dynamics taking off. Allen with a lap full of horse here on the favourite Netanyahu, but needs a gap from Let Fly, Silver Boots, Dangers, and Fast Melody last of all. Into the straight. High Class Harry in front from a Zoo Stick the outside. Halano running on, then Mr. Dynamics. Gap comes for Netanyahu if he can get through it, and then Night Eclipse. Fast Melody down the outside. A Zoo Stick hit the lead. From in second spot, here's Netanyahu. He's finishing hard now. It's in front of Zoo Stick. Netanyahu closing. Netanyahu coming at a Zoo Stick. They get the line. He got it. Favourite gets up. Netanyahu for Ellen and takes the Torquay Cup from a Zoo Stick. Third was close. Mr. Dynamics right there with Fast Melody who finished off from Dangers, and also Halano. Let Fly, Silver Boots, Sly Corner, High Class Harry and Night Eclipse. Allen with a treble. Johnny's had an interesting day, but he gets up here on Netanyahu. Had to wait for the gap. It opened inside the 200. He drives the favourite through, and he's too good for a Zoo Stick, who's run a bold race first up for Brady Cross. And third in Fast Melody, who closed off well. So a few locals running well there, but it's all Netanyahu in the finish, and Johnny Allen with a treble. Lean and Troy Corstens, they've won bigger races, but I'm sure that'll give them a big thrill winning the Torquay Cup with Netanyahu, who's been an enigmatic galloper is probably a right way to describe him. He's sort of hit and miss, but at his best, he's certainly a talent. And at his best today after a big flop at the Warrnambool Carnival. And he's been too good for this opposition. Certainly better races in store for him, you'd think, especially as the tracks start to get a bit wetter, even though he did have that disappointing run last start. Maybe he can put it down to he just got his tongue over the bit. They used the tongue tie today, and it certainly worked. John Allen with the treble, and the numbers 10, 5, 15, 4, 3, 11. 10, 5, 15, 4, first four. Short neck by a length, 125.03. Troy Corson's no doubt happy that Netanyahu's back in the winner's circle.
Oh, well, Troy, you can take a deep breath. He got there.
Yeah, just. I thought that gap nearly closed up on him, and he's still doing quite a bit wrong. And instead of really rushing through that gap like an experienced horse would, he was a little bit hesitant. But under the urgings of Johnny, I don't think Johnny panicked as much as I did, that's for sure. That's for sure.
It was certainly a very patient but confident ride. What do you do next with a horse like this?
Look, you know, it's our first winner for Regal Bloodstock, so fantastic for Mark Burkhart and Lenny Russo picks his horses for him as well. So it's a big thrill. He just needs to get his confidence up, Bella. He's a horse that, as I said to you just off air, he's got really good talent. We've just got to get him to start doing things properly, and you're going to see him in town for sure.
That's really interesting. So do you think he'll take quite a bit from this run and hopefully go on with it now?
Yeah, I do. Last preparation, I thought he might be a winter championship sort of horse, but I just think it's all going to come a little bit too quick for him, and he's still got to put it all together. So he's got his future in front of him. He just needs to start getting things right, and I think as we build his confidence, he'll improve.
And we'll just touch on again quickly the astrologist, because it's certainly a highlight for your table in case anyone's just tuning in. Talk us through his chances.
Oh, look, he tries. He tries so hard, Bella, and if he gets the breaks, he'll run to the best of his ability, and if a bit of luck comes and a couple of the fancied ones don't get the luck, he can be right in the finish.
Well, like I said before the race, hopefully this is the start of a very big weekend ahead for the stable. Congratulations on the win here.
Thanks, Bella.
Thanks to Bella, well done to Troy and Leon Corstens, well done to you, Matt Welsh, because that was your best for the meeting, although I have to say, if you've been following John Allen today, how's your heart?
Oh, it's been an interesting 30 or so minutes for John Allen. Got the favourite over the line despite just putting the cue in the rack a little bit early in the last, but that was a terrific ride, and John's now with Bella.
Johnny, congratulations firstly on the treble. Matt was just saying that was a terrific ride. You're patient but quite confident?
Yeah, look, I was probably just in a bit of a tricky spot in the corner. I was probably happy to be following Daniel Moore, but the couple outside me weren't improving quick enough that I could come out across their heels, so I just had to wait for a bit of a gap, and luckily enough he was going good enough when that gap appeared. I was able to get him in there, and yeah, look, he picked up well and just got there in time.
He still looked very green towards the end of the race, shuffling around down the straight a bit?
A little bit. Look, he kind of was hanging in a little bit for a good bit of the race, really. So, yeah, maybe there was a little issue there. But, no, look, to his credit, he knuckled down when he had to and got the job done.
Well, you've already ridden 3 winners today. You've got Janua Star for the Mar Eustace team in the next. What do you think of his chances?
Yeah, look, he was probably disappointing first up, but he did try very good last week, so I'm pretty confident he can run well.
Well, good luck there.
Thank you.
Normally refreshing, normally.
10-5, 15-4. It's a treble for John Allen with Netanyahu saluting ahead of Azustik, who's run well. And just looking at the beaten brigade, I thought the Fast Melody ran really well.
Ran very well. Goes well second up generally and improved off that Warrnambool run today. It was a much improved performance, but gee, it got hairy. John Allen in the green, back to the inside in 7th at the moment. Can see him there. He's got a lap full of horses, Trav said, in the run. Nowhere to go. I love the ride by Damien Thornton, aggressive on Azustik, who's outside High Class Harry. They share the lead at the moment. Hilano just hung off the home bend, gave the run to Sly Corner in the yellow cap. Johnny Allen still looking for a gap between Sly Corner and Hilano. He burst through, and what I loved, when this horse got the gap, sort of between the 300 and the 200 and the 100, he showed a lovely turn of speed. Reeled in Azustik, who was terrifically brave up on speed. Fast Melody ran well, as you said. Mr Dynamics also ran okay. And I thought Dangers in the Shea Eden colours, another one back in the field, just getting up on heels past the post as well, doing its best work through the line. But Troy Corstens gave this horse a good rap pre-race. He said post-race, got some bigger goals in mind with him, and based on that performance, you'd think benchmark 64, that's the last time we'll be seeing him in this sort of grade. He's destined for much better things. I do think Azustik's in for a terrific campaign. Nice little pipe opener, a horse who we know can get out to 1,600 metres and beyond. Brady Cross is going to have a fun preparation with Azustik.
Yes, he gave a great sight and almost threatened to win. One more to go from Geelong. We'll be back with more after the break.